On any other day, I'd never start off a Monday afternoon update with a cautionary tale, a blatant warning of things that are to come. But today, I sort of sensed it boiling up inside. We saw it unfolding over the weekend, this sort of compulsory urge right now to make sure that you are aware of the impending and the imminent shocks that we are about to undergo in this economy. And I want to get this off my chest and be at ease with myself that I've done whatever I can do to put this information in front of you today. Not tomorrow, not the next day, but right now. And many of you wrote to me over the weekend and said, thank you for warning me about some other trades that were happening, and you were able to save yourself and save a lot of money because you were able to swerve. So that's what I want to do right now. And my personal grudge towards this situation is going to become clear. And so you'll hear it in my tone of voice. You're going to instantly sense my anguish and the burden this puts on myself and my children, because these concepts are not taught at our schools. Your boss will not teach them to you if he or she even knows about them. The mainstream media sure as heck will not teach this to you. They're going to ignore it. And our elected officials would rather you not know about any of this or ask any questions regarding it. They want to keep you stupid. They want to keep you in the dark about this. You heard me talk passionately on this show many, many times about our lack of financial education in this country. It's all that secretive, sinister stuff, in so many ways problematic and dangerous, that if you even ask a politician or a business mogul about it, they never give you a straight answer. But even the people at the top are beginning to sound the alarm and to raise their eyebrows on this matter right now. In fact, they would most likely decide to dodge the question or to change the topic entirely, because any politician or banker worth their salt knows that Washington's spending habits are totally out of control. For many years, many of us have pretty much been assuming and taking for granted the fact that an organization the size of the United States government, with its 16 million employees, yes, 16 million, is staffed and managed by the world's most capable bookkeepers, all of their accountants and the best financial personnel around. But you'd be wrong. You'd be dead wrong about it. And what I'm about to show you should be R-rated, like adult supervision advised. You know what's even more alarming is the rate at which this is growing right now. Take a look at this. You've been watching me for the past 2 or 3 minutes while the national debt, in other words, the amount of money the government has spent, has grown by $9 million, which comes out to $50,000 a second, per second. Each and every second, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. No other country has ever been so deeply in debt since the dawn of civilization. So how does this impact your own life right now? Well, let me show you. Because this graph shows you that an average American who had $100,000 in a bank account at the turn of the century now effectively has $63,000 in the bank account. What does that mean? Well, it means that $100,000 is still there, safely collecting dust in your checking account, but now it's worth less, 37% less. The government, by printing currency, is devouring your savings. It's devouring them. Essentially, the government taxed your savings at 37%. That's after you already paid income taxes on it. So instead of putting $100,000 in the bank in 2000, many people chose to take those savings and put them in gold, which is a superior form of savings. And do you know what happened to those people that put their money into gold? Well, as you can see here, their $100,000 would be worth way more today. How much more? Well, instead of $100,000, they'd be sitting on $732,000. And I'll say it again, because it's that important. Choosing gold over cash is the difference right now between having $732,000 and $100,000. And the problem with gold is that you need to physically store it, right? Where are you going to put it? So what I did was look for a way to easily and simply own gold without actually having to store it yourself. I mean, you want to have it in your house? You add that layer of difficulty on top of it, having it in your own house. I want to show you something that changed my life, and I believe you're going to immediately have an aha moment when you see what I see. You're going to have to sit down for this one, because if one had decided to go with this gold stock, for example, that $100,000 I showed you just a moment ago would now be worth $3 million. Are you still there? This is a marriage between gold and stocks and what it can deliver. Yeah, owning gold is nice, but owning companies that find and mine it could be hundreds of times more lucrative when it's done correctly. Again, owning the companies that find the gold. The key is to understand that mining is a business for experts. It's incredibly intense, it's incredibly complex, and only a few dozen people have successfully built careers in this field. People like self-made billionaire Frank Goistra. People like Peter Moroni, who founded one of the most successful gold miners ever. People like Ian Tefler, who actually was chairman of the World Gold Council at one time and won Entrepreneur of the Year awards. Well, something totally unexpected and pretty much unheard of, or should I say groundbreaking, has happened because these three tycoons and a number of additional world-class mining executives and moguls have teamed up right now under one company, which is engaged in gold mining, named ARIS Gold. ARIS Gold. It's like putting the dream team together. It's like, taking Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and putting them all on one team. So why am I so bullish on ARIS Gold? Why do I consider it my top idea to look at right now in the entire gold industry? For one thing, the U.S. government is going to continue to print money, boatloads of it. And if you heard President Biden this week, he said because of the lower jobs report, this is a need for us to continue to pour more money into the stimulus. Now, I'm all for helping people. But if we don't have a mechanism in which to pay for it, we are in trouble. And the national debt and the deficit are set to soar much higher. And gold is going to continue to be super important. What we need now is a company that can mine faster than Washington can print. And ARIS Gold is going to increase production 700% in the coming years. Now, I've checked in with this with a few other experts and found that there are very few, if any, gold miners that are going to grow by this much. The government is going to continue overspending. That's out of our control. But now, after you've seen this, you can gain control of your own situation so that 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, you don't look at other people's retirement nest eggs and wonder how they got there while you stayed behind. Stimulus checks obviously help. But in order to grow the money we've already got, we must own assets. And I just walked you through a scenario that looks compelling to me, incredibly compelling to me. Right now, with the government printing money and the US dollar continuing its downward spiral, where do you want the future of your family? Do you want it in US currency, or do you want it in something as powerful as gold? I'd love to hear your comments. Drop me one below and smash that like button if I brought you any value at all. We'll see you next time, everyone.